Past little bit, ever since winter started, I haven't had much to do, which I feel like can be a really bad thing or not. I feel pretty much exhausted all the time, so it's nice that I don't have to do shit, but I also fall into a constant state of overthinking about stuff, and it would probably be better if I didn't think about that stuff all the time, or at least maybe I'd be happier if I didn't think about that stuff all the time. And the past half year, I've done a really good job of keeping myself busy with different stuff, just like filling up my schedule with stuff so I don't have a ton of free time. And then the free time I do have, I'm too exhausted to think about how I'll never live a happy life or the things that make me depressed. Anyway, I haven't had this problem since around the start of summer, and I feel like people maybe run into this also around this time of year because there's big breaks from school or work or whatever you're doing. And if you're not hanging out with people, maybe you're also struggling with free time. I mean, maybe even if you are hanging out with people, you're still struggling with it because, I mean, at least for me, I don't want to hang out with anyone if it's not going to be fun or if it's going to suck. Like, fuck that. But I've been trying to keep myself entertained one way or another. I feel like if I can find something to focus on, then that helps a ton. There are just certain things that for some reason are harder for me to start doing alone, even if they're incredibly simple. Like, for example, just watching a TV show. Like, if I'm doing it with someone else, I can actually focus on it because we can talk about what's happening. But if I try and watch by myself, I'll find myself getting up and wandering around or turning it off like every 5 minutes. And then I'm just back to pacing and thinking about whatever it was I was thinking about before. Anyway, I wrote this first start of the video before I ended up watching this show called The Teacher, which I haven't finished yet. I watched like the first couple episodes of it last night, but I think that's what I want to talk about the rest of this video because I've wanted to watch it for a while. It's about this kid who's like, I guess a senior. He's a senior in high school, and he gets groomed by his teacher, and I just see a lot of parallels, honestly, between stuff that's happened to me and his situation in the show, and I want to talk about it. The thing I want to talk about in this show, or the thing that really stood out to me in the first couple episodes I watched, is that the main character, I don't even fucking remember what his name was, but he basically falls in love with his teacher after she just does very mundane things with him. I mean, she is like definitely crossing a line with him to an extent, but she does pretty normal shit with him. Like, she tutors him and she like takes him on a tour to a college and stuff like that, and he ends up basically becoming obsessed with her. And I think the reason he becomes obsessed or becomes so infatuated is because he doesn't really have a lot else going for him in his life in terms of emotional support, and I think he has to kind of, or has had to be that for himself, and I can just really relate to that a lot. I don't know, it really freaked me out to watch, to be honest. And I think that just is the case for a lot of people, because like from the outside looking in, it looks like he's kind of fucking insane, which, you know, maybe he is or whatever. Like, he's going crazy over these little interactions, but I feel like when you have nothing, like, that's what happens. Anyway, these videos are a really good way for me to get shit like this off my chest. Now I feel like I've gotten really comfortable, or not really, but I've gotten more comfortable just talking about whatever I want to talk about. And the reality is I don't have anyone that I can talk about this with consistently in real life. So I don't know, I made a video called Art is Therapy. It's one of my favorite videos I've made so far, and that's kind of like, I don't know, I think I should keep making these videos. I think it's helpful and I enjoy doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep making them.